cash remittances of overseas Filipinos also grew by 8.6% in January, amounting to $2 billion. We're open to a few questions.
May questions? Follow-up sa statement? Other issues? TV5, Maricel Halidi.
Sir, may we have your reaction about the impeachment complaint filed by Magdalo, representative against the president?
Well, first and foremost, no treason, betrayal of trust, bribery, graft, and corruption, high crime, and culpable violation of the Constitution has been committed. We reiterate that the so-called extrajudicial are not state-sponsored, and the President has made sure that he will not turn a blind eye to all uniformed personnel who violate and abuse their power. No one is truly above the law, not even the President, but the administration upholds due process and is ready for the consequences of his actions that takes consideration, above all, the interests of the Filipino people. However, having said that, it does seem like part of a larger scheme of things.
Sir, what do you mean larger scheme of things?
Well, it just seems rather dramatic that everything seems to be so coordinated at this stage, with acts of trying to discredit the administration and trying to throw it in doubt.
So, sir, do you see this as a part of the destabilization plot against the government?
It certainly seems like an outline.
Sir, at least yung mga members ng or representative of Magdalo na nag-file ng impeachment, do you think meron pa rin silang influence somehow sa military to support their move?
They're trying to make, they're trying to, at this stage it looks like they're scraping the bottom of the barrel,
Follow-up question, Joseph Morong, followed by Hannah.
Sir, fill in the blanks for us. We don't want to do that for you. When you say dramatic, coordinated, what other events do you think are kind of synchronized?
I cannot
with this?
foresee that. We simply just look at the outline, what's happening out there, then we observe and we make observations.
So you don't see any connection with the yung statement ni video message ni Vice President Robredo and the narcotics group in the UN, other things like that?
Well, are you referring to her which statement you're talking?
Video message her, I think, to the UN body on narcotics.
Well, at this stage, let's put it this way. It just seems too well coordinated. Events like these seem to be too well coordinated as to just be coincidental.
Follow-up, Hannah?
Sir, do you think makakastand po yung impeachment complaint? Makakatayo, considering hindi pa naman nakaka 1 year ang president na nakaupo sa
Hayaan po niyo silang, hayaan po silang magsalita at habulin yung gusto nilang mangyari.
Yung recent video po ni Vice President, you think hindi kasama sa destabilization plot ang Vice President?
Wala pa akong sinasabing hindi siya kasama. Sinasabi lang natin mukhang may mga kaganapan na sabay-sabay na nangyayari. Hindi naman natin masabi siguro natin ganyan. Pero mukhang napakalinis na mga kaganapan.
Nakita na po ba ng Pangulo ang video?
Hindi ko pa siya natanong.
Kasi tatanong ko sana, sir, kung napanood niya, kung nagbago ba yung isip niya na hindi kasama yung Vice President doon sa Destab plot against him.
Hindi ko pa siya natanong.
Okay, Rosalie, UNTV.
Sir, sinabi niyo po na parang coordinated yung mga pangyayari at meron po itong patutunguhan. So, sa Malacanang po ba, cause of concern na po ito?
Hindi naman cause of concern na natataranta ang mga tao. Nakikita lang, napapansin.
So, ano po ang atin pong course of action sa mga...
Patuloy po tayo sa nation building. Huwag po tayong pawawala dyan sa puntong yan. Marami po talagang ingay na nangyayari mula sa gilid. Pero tuloy-tuloy po ang presidente na gumagawa. Sabi nga niya, napakaganda po na pagkakasabi niya, I have built a city and I am building a nation. And I think Filipinos should start really just, strengthening their backbones and just start doing their part and carrying the weight of nation building. you know, there's so much noise coming from the circles, from the outside circles, and it just shows a sign of, yeah, you know, the sign of lack of unity and stuff like that. But it would all help us if we just bear the brunt together. I think we should just grow up.
Follow up. Okay na tayo, Ross? Follow up, Joseph Morong.
Sir, do you think, considering that impeachment is a numbers game, do you think it will prosper at the House of Representatives?
Really, it's not for us to be speculating about these things. You just let them be.
Do you think that the president will ask his allies in Congress to do something about
The
it?
president always allows his allies, so-called, to act independently of him. He has never manipulated in that sense, you know, the way political intrigues are usually sown. No. He is an extremely democratic. Whatever the noise is about the way he makes his choice, he acts, he's always respected the independence of his so-called colleagues.
Okay. Other issue or no more questions? Other issue, okay. TV5, Maricel Halili.
Sir, may we have the details about the dinner of the president with some senators? How come that some other senators are excluded from?
I don't know about the exclusion, but definitely I think the Inquirer should check their copy. Yes, I mean, you said that I described the dinner as private and lovely. I said lively. There's a world of difference between I and O.
Okay, sir, what was discussed during the dinner, sir? Kasi is it a loyalty check? Just to clarify.
No, I think J.B. Ejercito, Senator Ejercito was very clear about that. They discussed a number of items. I think you have the same set of information that I have. Basically, they talked about legislative issues. There was nothing. It was not called in order to find out, you know, like you said, loyalty check. It was updating.
Here's a microphone. Question. Hannah.
Sir, updating of what po? You said updating, not loyalty check.
Hold on.
Pinagpapaliwanag ng Philippine National Police si Vice President Leni Robredo hinggil sa alegasyon nitong palit-ulo scheme ng PNP. Una nang sinabi ni Robredo na hinuhuli pa rin ng PNP ang mga kaanak na mga drug dependent kapag nabigo silang arestuhin ang tunay na target. Maliban dito, nagsasagawa raw ng warrantless search ang pulisya sa mga urban areas. Ayon kay PNP spokesman Leonardo Carlos, dapat ipaliwanag ng Vice-Presidente ang kanyang akusasyon at kung may sapat ba itong basehan. Nilinaw naman ni Carlos na hindi kailanman hinuhuli ng PNP ang mga taong wala sa kanilang listahan.
The Philippine National Police is asking Vice President Leni Robredo to provide details on her palit-ulo allegation in connection with the anti-illegal drugs campaign of the government. PNP spokesperson Leonardo Carlos said that if true, such practice is not condoned by the AFP. According to Robredo, the scheme involves the apprehension of relatives if the wanted drug suspects cannot be found. The vice president has also accused the police of abuses, including warrantless searches in urban poor areas in Metro Manila.
Yung pong sinasabing palit-ulo na kung wala, hindi pumunta yung drug suspect o yung drug personality, ang kapalit ay yung kamag-anak. Clearly, hindi ito tama. Kung ito'y nangyayari o nangyari, ang hiling namin ay maging specific para yung, kasi hindi nga ito sanction. Hindi ito, wala doon sa polisiya o procedure ng taphang o tukhang.
Newsbreak, ipinagtataka ng Philippine National Police kung bakit kailangang iparating ni Vice President Leni Robredo sa International Anti-Drug War Network ang kanyang expose sa umano'y palit-ulo scheme sa Oplan Tokhang 2. Ayon kay PNP spokesman, Police Senior Superintendent Leonardo Carlos, sa halip na makipag-ugnayan sa PNP ay agad nakita ang video ni Robredo sa International Anti-Drug Network. Samantala, binigyan diin ni Presidential Spokesman Ernesto Abella na misinformed si VP Robredo sa kanyang paratang na palit-ulo scheme na ginagawa umano ng PNP sa kanilang anti-illegal drugs operations. Sinabi ni Abella, hindi dapat basta nagpapaniwala ang Vice Presidente sa mga walang basehang alegasyon mula sa mga questionable sources. Ayon pa kay Abella, hindi lamang nauunawaan ni Robredo ang nasabing sistema kung saan nagbibigay ng commitment ang isang drug personality na tutulong sa ikaka-aresto ng mas malaking isda sa sindikato ng iligal na droga kapalit ng mas magaang na kaso. Dagdag pa ni Abella, kamakailan lang ay nilagdaan na ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte ang Executive Order 15 na lumilikha sa isang Interagency Committee on Anti-Illegal Drugs and Anti-Illegal Drug Task Force kung saan pinagkakaisa ang buong burokrasya sa pagpapatupad ng Anti-Illegal Drugs Campaign. At yan po naman ang aming mga nakalap na balita at impormasyon. Para sa PTV Newsbreak, ako po si Audrey Goriseta.
Pwede mo tayo magba?
Pwede ko pa i-gano ka? No more na. Because I started like this.
Pero if this was
So, dapat ganito lang.
May monitor ko yung ano na. Audio, pwede mo. Okay,
Pwede mo tayo? Thank you po.
Yes, sir.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Ako po si dating Representative Francisco Ashley Asidillo. Dito po ako para mag-assist at mag-facilitate sa press con po na ito. Kanina lamang po, ang ating pong representante ng Magdalo Party List, si Congressman Gary Alejano, filed an impeachment complaint and was received doon po sa opisina ng Secretary General ng Kamara de Representante. Para po sa ating press con ngayon, Congressman Alejano will be reading a statement and then we will be taking a few questions. Si Congressman Alejano po ating sole complainant ditong impeachment complaint for now. So without further ado, I'd like to open the floor to the opening statement of Congressman Alejano.
Thank you, guys. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Please allow me to read my opening statement. Kami po ay naniniwala na si Pangulong Duterte ay hindi nararapat na manungkulan bilang pinakamataas na opisyal ng ating bansa. Kaya po kami ay naghain ng impeachment complaint sa kadahilan ng ito. Ayon sa aming inihaing reklamo, naniniwala kami na dahil sa mga krimen at mga paglabag sa ating saligang batas ang Pangulong Commission. Number 2, engaging in bribery, betrayal of public trust. Kung ang kami po ay nahaharap sa napakabigat na ay ilalaban, hindi lamang kundi pati rin dito ang ating mga paaralan at ang nakakarami na hindi ibinoto, hindi sumusuporta at hindi sang-ayon sa mga pulisiya at kalakaran sa ilalim ni Pangulong Duterte. Marami sa ating mga kababayan ay kumakap pa rin sa mga binitawang pangako na gagawing pagbabago ng Pangulo. Pero ang reklamo pong ito, tinutumpok niya ang mga nagawang krimen at paglabag sa konstitusyon ng Pangulo na siya ang dapat at napapatupad at magtatanggol. Panalangin po namin na sana ang laban na ito ay tatawid at makapag-impluwensya sa hanay ng mga miyembro ng Kamara de Representante para magpirma at suportahan ang impeachment complaint. Ang Magdalo po ay mayroon kaya sa pagtayo at pagsuporta sa mga reforma at inisyatibong para sa ikabubuti ng ating bansa at ang bayan. Layo namin sa reklamong ito na maging bihikulo para sa ating mga kapwa Pilipino na magkaroon ng boses laban sa mga abuso at krimen ng Pangulong Duterte. Ang aming tungkulin sa araw na ito ay maging tagapagbigay daan ng makasaysayan at makatuwid ang kagustuhan at pagpasya ng talal ng mga representante sa Kongreso. Ang administrasyon ang tuong demokratiko at naniniwala sa pananagutan. Wala silang dapat isipin kundi ang hakbang na ito ay naayon sa saligang batas at sa sistema ng demokrasya. Nalabag sa batas o labas sa Constitution sa aming patuloy na oposisyon sa dating mayor ng Duterte sa amin at layo nating mapanagot siya sa kanyang mga nagawang. Magandang umaga po.
Sir, can you cite like may EJK based on Matobatos testimony? Can you cite specifics?
Sir, can you just elaborate nga kung ano yung parang pinaka-gist nung mga grounds na
Mabibigat? Or ilan ba lahat yung crimes na yun, sir?
Ganito po na. Of course, mga nilalaman ng impeachment complaint. Pero gusto ko lang ibigyan ng konting detalye. Unang-una, ang yung pagpapatay ng kapwa Pilipino tayo sa ngayon. No? Pagpapatay sa ngayon. Nakakabahan 30,000, 30,000, 50,000 ang mamatay upang tayo tumayo at lumaban. Pangalawa, na squad ng panahon ni Ben Tisha. Dahil naniniwala sa bansang ito, sa Pilipinas, napapaloob ko dito ang kanyang bank account. Marami at hindi man lang po ito na i-declare sa kanyang SALN o niya i-declare sa kanyang latest SALN. And then release ng more than 11,000 ghost employees in Davao City when was still natin, nakaraan po yan. Sa ulit-ulitin po natin. Sa ating bansa, hindi po pwedeng sino ang Constitution, specifically sa graft and corrupt practices. And then, yung ibang reklamo ay pinag-aaralan po natin. Specific sa pagkakaroon niya ng secret arrangement with taong bayan, hindi po alam na kahit ng kanyang gabinet. We have a conflict of interest and competing claims sa paghimasok ng China sa Beckham Ranch. So, ay pinag-aralan po namin, pinapag-aralan po namin magkaroon ng maliwanag na basihan. So, yun po yung
wala yun sa complaint? Wala pa yun sa complaint?
Wala po yan sa complaint.
In the process ng impeachment? Or will you file a separate complaint for that?
Well, initially, dito sa aming, dahil ayaw mo naman natin dito na yun nga, wala ho tayong diretso na documentary.
But how confident?
Dahil sabi ho natin kanina, kung numbers ho ang pag-usapan ho natin, nakita naman doon sa death penalty. So kung yun ang basihan ho natin, uphill battle ho tayo. Pero in fact, marami na rin, may nag-signify na rin sasama ho dito. Ayaw ko lang pangalanan ng mga miyembro ng Kongreso. At tama rin ho na sa panahon ng recess ng Kongreso upang makapag-isip. At tingin ko sa estilo ng leadership dito sa Kamara, marami po ang masama ang loob at nakikita nila yung polisiya ngayon sa sistema ng demokrasya. Parang virtually meron mo tayong marker.
Sir, now?
Hindi ko po pwedeng sabihin sa inyo as of now. Signify na sa for the meantime yun lang po.
RG, sir, yung po, sinasamantala niyo po ba yung timing ngayon na merong mga ulit kasi as you said, may mga grievances sa estilo ng leadership ng House?
Kasama po yan, but primarily, tinaon po natin sa bakasyon, parang po sinagasaan mo lahat. At kung ating ipinayo ito during the regular session, makikita mo natin, magiging witness po tayo kung paano i-railroad mo itong pagpatay ng impeachment complaint. Although we're sure that they're going to do this, sa panahon ng bakasyon, sabi ko kanina, mapagbigyan natin ang miyembro ng Kongreso na makapag-isip.
Sir, why did you include Sir, yung Magnificent Seven ba solid na susuporta sa'yo sa impeachment campaign? And second, can you impeach the president based sa mga previous supposedly crimes he
As
committed,
mayor.
hindi bilang presidente?
Sa unang tanong niyo po, in fairness sa kanila, hindi po sila sinabihan. Hindi ko sila inform na ako'y mag-file. I don't want to put undue pressures to them. Hindi ko narinigan dito. Pangalawa, tama ba ho na yung kasalanan yung nakaraan ay sisingilin siya ngayon? Sabi ko nga ho kanina, sa ating konstitusyon, may basihan mo tayo dyan, na lahat ng ginawa, lalo na high crimes and plunder, ay hindi po dapat exempted kahit sino man, kahit pangulo ka na. Ibig sabihin ho, mas murder ho ako. At tatakbuhan ko ito pag ako'y pangulo na, hindi na siya masisingil. Kaya nga ho, hindi po pwedeng hindi siya sa masisingil dahil yung ginawa niya sa Davao, inelevate niya into in national policy at yun ang ating nakikita ngayon. Actually, yun yung basihan. No? Yung basihan, isa sa basihan. No? Pero ginagit ko na yung mga basihan nung siya ay nakaupo na ngayon.
Sir, kayo po kakampi ng Liberal Party dito sa House.
Thank you, RGB, for that. No? Just like to add, no? Okay, assuming as a point of law, yung acts previous have enough basis, as you can see in our commitment, based on the grounds based on acts and grounds committed. You have a question?
Sir, kakampi yung Liberal Party dito sa House. Ito po ba ay suportado nila? Alam po natin ang Vice President natin ay taga-Liberal Party.
Well, as of now, again, ayaw ko hong pamunahan ang posisyon ng Liberal Party. Pero ako'y naniniwala na ito'y importanteng pangyayari. And I believe ito'y pag-uusapan mo nila at magkakaroon mo sila ng desisyon. Pero let's allow them to decide. Alam mo natin na may sarili silang partido at may sarili silang direksyon. Pero sabi ko nga sa akin, ito ho ang opportunity, bibigay lang ho tayo ng daan sa mga frustrated nating mamamayan, hindi lang mamamayan, kundi yung mga leaders ng ating bansa sa mga kaganapan sa ngayon.
Sir, question. Sige, go ahead.
Sige. Sir, dadaan sa committee evidence ba tayo, sir? Solid evidence na kinamit niya nga itong mga to?
Initially, meron mo tayong mga annexes sa complaints mo natin. No, pero I don't want to go to the details of kung darating mo tayo dyan, ay lalabas mo mga ebidensya. Lalabas mo mga ebidensya.
Sir, alam ng
Pag tayo'y nagsisik ng katotohanan, meron pong subpoena power. Preso, at yung ating kung nilagay mo dito, they have the power to subpoena this document.
Nasa inyo na po ba, sir, yung mga bank accounts? Kasi yung ibinigay dati, I think, sa Senado, matrix lang po yun. Wala po yatang copy ng bank accounts. Ganun.
Ito ay sa dating reports, no? Sa dating inihayag, particularly by Senator Trillanes. But again, from the bank themselves, then we have to subpoena the records. Sasabihin ho, hindi to totoo. At hindi naman ho siya nagbibigay ng authority. Matagal na itong hamon sa kanya. Ngayon po, panahon niya po na harapin ito. At patunayan na talagang hindi po ito totoo.
So pag tinala kayo, sir, sa Committee of Justice, doon pa na po kayo mag-move to subpoena these documents?
Yes. Kaya ho sa tamang panahon, sa tamang proseso, tamang venue, gagawin po natin.
Sir, alam ng lahat na you are allied with Senator Antonio Trillanes, the fourth being members of the Magdalo Party list. Magiging madali para sa Presidente na sabihin na destabilization lang ito.
Ganito po yan. Ano bang definisyon ng destabilization? Dapat maliwanag po tayo dyan. Pag ikaw ba ay, yan ba ay destabilization? At yun po yung aming ginagawa. Bilang oposisyon ng bansang ito, gusto nga natin bigyan ng alternatibong pananaw ang taong bayan kung ano ba talagang tunay na nangyayari. Kung ito ba'y ginagawa natin bilang bahagi ng check and balance, bahagi ng sistema ng demokrasya, destabilization ba ito? Ito po, kung ito ay kikitilin, ibig sabihin, virtually nasa martial law tayo, nasa dictatorship dahil walang gustong, ayaw niyang i-criticize ang kanyang policy. Kaya niliwanag po sa aking opening statement, walang kasamang extra-legal mo dito. Walang kudita. Walang other means. Sa proseso, nag-file po kami dahil yun po ang sinasaad ng ating Constitution na pag gusto natin panagutin ng isang Pangulo na immune po sa kaso, impeachment lamang ang pwede. So doon po kami dumikit.
Sir, doon sa 2.2 billion na supposedly pumasok sa bank deposit si Presidente, may information kayo kung saan siya nanggaling?
As of now, I don't want to go to the details. Sabi ko nga sa tamang panahon, yan po ay mailalahat.
Sir, is this parang ginagawa niyo ba to para eventually makapag-file ng kaso before the International Criminal Court? Kasi bago agencies dito sa Pilipinas.
Ganito lang po yun. We cannot stop anybody in filing a case before the International Criminal Court. Sa katunayan, maraming gustong magkaso. Ngayon, we want to exhaust all remedies in the country. Alam mo natin, wala hong pagdito ang kamalian ng Executive Department dahil kaalyado nga dito. Nagkaroon po ng opportunity sa Senado na tingnan yung mga pero nakita niyo naman kung paano tinakpan at takpan ang ating Pangulo. So saan po pupunta ang taong bayan? But they cannot convict the President.
Sir, kung matalo po ang impeachment complaint dito sa Kongreso, iakyat niyo na po ba sa ICC?
Well, tingnan ho natin. No? Kami po ay nakatutok lamang sa pag-file ng impeachment complaint. Tingnan ho natin sa panahon na papatayin ho nila ang impeachment ho dito. Kami po yung mag-uusap at magpaplano kung anong gagawin namin na next.
Sir, but the President remains very popular. Parang ano yung, paano niyo ito papaintindi sa mga tao? The public and you, parang yun yung question ko,
Ganito
sir.
lang po yun, karamihan ho sa nakikita o sinasabi ng isang politiko ay hindi yun yung kanyang ginagawa. Pwede hong magulat ang taong bayan sa tunay na pagkatao ng isang politiko. Kaya nga, mayroong mga investigasyon at ilabas at ilahad kung sino ba talaga sila. No? So ngayon, ginagawa ba namin ito dahil hindi ba namin gagawin ito dahil popular ho siya? Kami po'y naniniwala, mandato ho namin yan. May track record na rin po kami sa pagtayo ng isang popular leader sa ating bansa. But regardless, kami po'y naniniwala na dapat managot siya sa krimen na kanyang ginawa at we will try our best to inform the people na ito po yung totoo. If in fact wala ho siyang ginawa, makikita yun sa investigation. Ang ayaw ho natin mangyari, na tatanggapin ng taong bayan na parang legal ang pagpatay sa bansang ito. Na parang okay lamang na labagin natin yung mga proseso legal at ang karapatang pantao sa bansang ito ay parang okay na. Yan ang gusto natin iparating sa taong bayan sa bansang ito para magkaroon ng stability, para magkaroon ng pag-unlad. Kailangan ho mapanatili ang konsepto ng check and balance sa ilalim ng demokrasyang sistema o ang rule of law, ang due process. Hindi po pwedeng nag-iisang tao at naririnig ho tayo na he doesn't care about the Congress, he doesn't care about the Constitution, he doesn't care about the Supreme Court, kung anong gagawin niya. Hindi po. Precisely meron ho tayong three branches of government to check on each other, on the excesses of power of the other department. Kaya nga, ito ho ang aming responsibilidad ngayon. Ngayon, nakikiusap kami sa taong bayan, buksan niyo ang inyong mga mata. Dahil kami umiikot sa kanayunan, ang taong bayan ho, nakikita na nila sa TV, nakikita nila sa Facebook, narinig sa radyo, and they go on with their lives without really knowing kung ano ba talaga ang nangyari sa buhay nila except sa panahon na maging biktima na ho sila mismo ng policy ito.
Sir, we saw what happened to the critics of President Duterte, like Senator De Lima. Do you have any apprehensions of what may happen to you after this?
Well, definitely, kami po ay tao lamang, katulad ninyo. Meron din ho kaming takot. Pero ito ba'y mananaig over sa aming mandato na magsilbi sa taong bayan? Kahit noon ho kami sundalo pa, may takot din po kami. Pero nananaig po ang aming desire ng pagsilbi sa ating bayan. So So dito ho kami nagkuha ng lakas ng loob dahil nakikita at naririnig ho namin ang freedom-loving Filipinos na naghahangad ng hustisya at pagbabago sa ating bansa. Kaya nga ho, in spite of the threats, in spite of the challenges ahead, we hope to survive and we hope to address the challenges.
Sir, outside of what you did today dun sa filing ng impeachment complaint, do you think there is still check and balance among the three branches?
Well, sa tingin ko nga ho, ito ay na-erode na right now. Ayaw ho nating tuluyang mawala ang check and balance. At narinig naman ho natin ng Presidente. Every time na magsalita ho siya, gusto niyang mag-declare ng martial law. Actually, what he's doing is desensitizing the Filipino people on the issue of martial law. Para pagdating ng panahon, pwede hong sabihin na ini-inform ko na kayo dyan, matagal ko nang sinasabi yan, and now I'm going to declare martial law. Huwag ho tayong mamanhid ho dyan. Huwag ho tayong papayat na every time magsalita siya, hindi ho tayong mag-iingay. At sabihin na ito palang sistema ng martial law, hindi po natin naranasan dahil karamihan ho, hindi ho nakaranas ng martial law. Ayon ho sa rule, no? 1/3 of the members of the House. So kung meron ho tayong 293, more or ang kailangan ho nating pirma ho dito para umusad ho ito without going through the Committee on Justice, going through the deliberation of the committee, at diretso na po itong ipasa sa Senado. So that's the tall task, but we're confident that we're going to get that number.
Di ba kayo? Complainants ba kayo? Congressman na si Villa?
Hindi po ako proper party. Hindi na po ako nagsisilbi sa Kongreso.
Kaya nga. Pwede naman kayo maging complainant. Hindi na kayo...
Magkasama naman ho kami.
Isiniwalat ni Vice President Leni Robredo na may nangyayari umanong palit-ulo scheme sa kampanya kontra droga ng administrasyon. Sinabi yan ng Vice Presidente sa video message na ayon sa Office of the Vice President ay ipalalabas sa isang session ng United Nations Commission on Narcotic Drugs Annual Meeting sa Vienna, Austria bukas. Tinalakay ni Robredo sa video ang nangyayari raw sa gitna ng kampanya kontra droga, kabilang na raw ang palit-ulo scheme.
People are told that they didn't have any right to demand for search warrants because they were squatters and did not own the properties on which their houses were built. They told us of the Palit-Ulo scheme, which literally means exchange heads, where the wife or husband or relative of a person in a so-called drug list will be taken if the person himself could not be found.
Sinabi rin ni Robredo na sang-ayon siya na dapat magkaroon ng ligtas na komunidad para sa lahat. Pero hindi raw dapat isipin na bala lang ang solusyon sa problema sa droga. Hiniling na raw ni Robredo sa Pangulo na tutukan ng iba pang issue sa lipunan gaya ng kahirapan at hindi lang ang problema sa droga. Wala pang sagot ang Palasyo at PNP ukol sa pahayag ni Robredo sa video.
Borden, Executive Director of the DRC-Net Foundation, Marco Perduca, former member of the Italian Senate, Chito Gascon, Chairperson of the Commission on Human Rights, Alison Smith, Legal Counsel and Director of International Criminal Justice Program, No Peace Without Justice, all the other sponsors of this event, ladies and gentlemen, a good day to all of you. We are heartened that the issue of extrajudicial killings in the Philippines today is being discussed in an event such as this. To know that the international community's eyes are on us, and to feel that human rights advocates are watching over our country gives us comfort, courage, and hope. It is already February 2017, and the body count due to drug-related killings keeps growing. We are now looking at some very grim statistics. Since July last year, more than 7,000 people have been killed in summary executions. We agree that our people deserve nothing less than a safe environment, so that anyone can walk the streets safely, whether in daylight or at nighttime. But drug abuse should not be treated as one that can be solved with bullets alone. It must be regarded as it truly is, a complex public health issue, linked intimately with poverty and social inequality. As it is, in some areas in Manila where poverty is rampant, residents tell us that communities are rounded up in places like basketball courts, women separated from men, those with tattoos asked to stand in a corner, their belongings searched. People are told that they didn't have any right to demand for search warrants because they were squatters and did not own the properties on which their houses were built. They told us of the Palit Ulo scheme, which literally means exchange heads, where the wife or husband or relative of a person in a so-called drug list will be taken if the person himself could not be found. Some of those have told us that when there's crime, they normally go to the police. Now they don't know where to turn to. Our people feel both hopeless and helpless, a state of mind that we must all take seriously. This is why the Office of the Vice President supports the rehabilitation of drug dependents. You cannot kill addicts and declare the problem solved. The solution is to design the proper health, education, and psychosocial interventions to prevent further drug use and help them transition into productive members of society. Another challenge is to drum up legal and psychological support for those who may have undergone trauma due to extrajudicial killings. We believe that when the public knows its rights under the Philippine Constitution, when the community is united in this knowledge, our people will be better protected. We must tread carefully on this, however, because in some cases reported to us, those who ask for a search warrant, for instance, have been beaten and physically abused for doing so. We must all demand greater transparency in the government's war on drugs, because this is a major publicly funded campaign. Our leaders must be honest about the basis of the drug war. What exactly is the scope of the drug problem? Why do numbers about the extent of the problem change, as officially reported to the nation by our president, inconsistent? We believe that any campaign against illegal drugs must be founded on integrity. The public must ask why no one is being held accountable. The public must be watchful. Around 500 complaints have been filed at the Commission on Human Rights and recommended to the Department of Justice for filing of cases. But until now, 7 months into the administration's drug war, no information has been filed. On top of this, there's a brewing problem. Death penalty might soon return, and the age of criminal liability might be brought down to 9. We believe this to be a huge mistake because death penalty for non-violent offenses violate UN treaties and international human rights norms. Last Friday, a day before the EDSA People Power Revolution's 31st anniversary, we called the President to task on this. On behalf of the Filipino people whose daily struggles are escalating, we asked him to focus on the war that really matters, the war against poverty, instead of just the war against drugs. In a public statement, we asked him to direct the nation towards respect for rule of law instead of a blatant disregard for it. We asked him to uphold basic human rights enshrined in our Constitution instead of encouraging its abuse. We asked him to be the leader he promised to be and evoke in our people hope and inspiration instead of fear. We told him, do not allow the lies to distort the truth. We also asked the Filipino people to defy brazen incursions on their rights. Our people have fought long for our rights and freedoms. The Filipino nation has come so far since our country's darkest days. We are not about to back down now. Thank you all for listening. May you have a fruitful discussion moving forward. The Office of the Vice President is looking forward to deepening this conversation further with you.